Okay, well, officially, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Live with Tammy and Eric, our last session of this academic year. So thanks for joining us, all of the wonderful people on the call today. We're happy to do an exciting program with you today. Tammy, your mic is off.
Mic off.
All right, that's better. So thank you for coming, everyone. I am Tamara Leiber. I'm the International Admissions Director, and I am going to start today in our program. I come from Minnesota, but I'm living here in Wisconsin. I've been at Wisconsin Lutheran High School from 2007 till now, and I love helping students come to the USA to study at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. I also run the American Mentor Program, which helps international students get integrated into our society here at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. They have American friends that love to help them to integrate, make friendships, get involved in the school's many programs, and just feel like they're the new international, like they're part of our community here at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. And that's a little bit about me, and I'll let Mr. Dewey introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Tammy. So my name is Eric Dewey, and I am the director of the international program at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. I've been here in this position for about 6.5 years at the high school. I'm from Wisconsin originally and have lived here most of my life, although I've also studied and lived in Costa Rica and Thailand and traveled to many other countries. In my role, I work very closely with Tammy to help provide information to families from around the world who are interested in our school, and then once the students are here, make sure that they are well served, and work with families, with agencies, all on the same team to help the students reach their full potential. So it's a pleasure to be joining with you all today. And as we begin to, before we introduce our next our guest speaker, I want to let you know the topic for today. The topic today is preparing future global business leaders. I think it's a wonderful thing to be discussing today. I think the business skills, business knowledge are something that all people, whether you're dedicated to a career in business, should have. And we just want to show some of the ways that our school provides training, classes, and practical experiences in the business field. So as we begin the session, just some normal reminders that we always talk about. As we do these live sessions, each time we bring in guest speakers who have specialized knowledge on different topics. We do some questions and answers with them. And what we're really trying to do is give you information about what it would be like to go into a program of study in the USA at the high school level. And of course, we're talking about our perspective from Wisconsin Lutheran High School and some of the advantages that we have here in our school. As I mentioned already, these sessions are recorded and they are shared afterwards, so you can always go back, watch it again for yourself, or share the link with friends and family who might be interested. All right, so without further ado, Tammy, would you introduce Mr. Gady to us?
Hi again, and this is Mr. Gady. He is one of our students' favorite teachers here at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. He has a master's degree in business and marketing education. He's the head of our business department here at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. He also is our he's our head girls track coach. So that's also a wonderful thing about our school, is that many of our teachers are also involved in the after school programs and make relationships with students, encouraging them in their other gifts and skills to make relationships with students in outside of the classroom, which is a really big part of our community here at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. And then he also is the assistant football coach. He also helps with many other programs at Wisconsin Lutheran High School, including the advisor to the newest organization that helps students in their desire to develop business skills. It's called the Future Business Leaders of America. It's a national organization, and students can join this organization and compete against other schools and competitions, friendly competitions across the USA in business related fields. So Mr. Gady is going to talk to us about the many different
It looks like Tammy might have got frozen. I don't know what you see on the screen. She looks frozen to me. So thanks, Tammy, for sharing that. And Jay, as long as you're on here before we do some more introduction stuff, you have a fun fact to share about yourself?
I'm actually a graduate of Wisconsin Lutheran High School from back in the early 1990s, and married my high school sweetheart who was a student here, and now I teach with here. She is the head of the English department here at Wisco, and has taught here for as long as I have, which is 20, 22, 25 years now.
That sounds like a made for TV movie experience of the dream experience of marrying your high school sweetheart. So, wonderful. Just as we begin, and want to give you a little context about where we're situated here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is known for a lot of things, but did you know that it is a great place for business leaders? It has a large number of Fortune 500 and 1,000 companies. Per capita, it's one of the best states in the United States in terms of location of corporate headquarters. So there is a lot of business action happening here in Wisconsin. And there are many international corporations in the Milwaukee area, in Madison, a nearby city, and in many other cities in Wisconsin. We even, you can see on the screen, Satya Nadella. I put him on the screen because he is the CEO of Microsoft, and he studied his master's degree here in Milwaukee at one of the universities. So we're a city and a state that's known for business leaders and great business potential. And just a little bit about education here in Wisconsin and the Midwest. The Midwest is known as a place with high quality education at all levels, especially the K-12 level and the higher education levels. So we have many highly ranked universities here, and so students who graduate from us, they have some great options within driving distance to go on to university, and these universities have great business connections.
So at Wisconsin Lutheran High School, we have a very complete and thorough college prep curriculum, offering more than 145 academic course offerings. Every student must have the core courses to gain the credits they need for completing their graduation credit requirements. Students may also choose elective courses. Many of the business courses are elective courses, so students may choose these courses as a way to prepare themselves to get their college application ready so that they can enter into some business programs in the college, in the universities in the United States that have good business programs. So now we're going to let Mr. Gady introduce some of these business courses that we have at our school, and then continue to talk about the different kinds of courses and give a brief explanation of what these courses are.
Oh, good morning again. What you see listed here is the spread of our kind of academic-based courses in our department. We have a couple technology courses as well. that really are geared more towards our grade 9 and 10 students, but wanted to focus on these courses, give you a little bit of an idea of some of the options that our students have to either pursue a initial interest in potentially a business career, or then give them opportunities to further prepare if they identify an area of study that really interests them. So the first course that we offer, and again, this is a course that is geared primarily towards our grade 9 and 10 students, is called Exploring Business. And it is a survey type course, which means we're introducing them to the ideas of basic marketing, a little bit of entrepreneurship, some basic sales techniques and strategies. And so it allows them to be introduced to these ideas and then see, oh, this is something that I might want to further investigate. And then we have these three are all 1 semester length courses where students are given an opportunity to get a little bit deeper into some subject areas. So entrepreneurship, the idea of starting their own business, that is a class where students are grouped up and they work on formulating a business plan. Usually we use food trucks as the idea for that. It also gives us opportunity to bring in small business owners from both in the Milwaukee area and throughout the country. We've got some connections with people out in LA and New York that they will come in and, through Zoom or something, meet with the students. We have a law course, introduces students to the American legal system. We could talk about contract law as well, a little bit of international trade law and some of the rules and regulations that they'd have to consider as they enter global business fields. And then a marketing course, pretty general, basic marketing, introducing those kids to some of the real tenets, the 4 core marketing ideas. It is likely in our future we will add a second marketing course that focuses on sports and entertainment marketing. That's a growing field and a real area of interest because nearly all of our students either have a favorite sporting team or some musical act that they enjoy. And so we can talk to them about preparing to host events and everything that's entailed there. We have 2 courses that are focused primarily on personal finance. Money Matters is our personal financial literacy course. So really focusing with students on how to wisely use the money that they're going to earn in their lifetimes, planning for major purchases like homes and cars, working their way through insurance and saving for retirement. It's a very popular course. I would say a majority of our students end up taking that course at some point. We offer an introductory economics course, really focused on micro and macroeconomics with a unit of international trade as well, talking about foreign exchange and such. And then some students will take that course prior to entering our AP courses, which I'll talk about in a little bit as an introduction. Here at Wisco, we offer 2 years of accounting courses. I usually, if students talk to me about an interest in entering the business world, accounting is the language of the business world. And so I will strongly encourage them to take one of the 2 accountings at least. Our little bit brighter students or students who choose to take a second year, our advanced accounting course is what's called a dual credit program. So they are simultaneously enrolled both here at Wisco and at a technical college here in Milwaukee. And so the students who complete that course receive college credits, which they can transfer to just about any university here in North America. So that's a really nice option to have for them. I'm also the AP economics teacher here at Wisco. We offer both micro and macro economics. Each course is a semester. And then they can sit in and take both tests should they choose in May. Our students have had tremendous success. Our testing scores in economics are above the state and national averages, which has been rewarding for those students to get those first steps in that program. We also have the ability, if students are becoming more proficient and advanced in their studies, Wisconsin Lutheran College is just up the road from us, close enough that students can walk there. And we have had students who will take another accounting course, managerial accounting there, which we have students who do that in some other areas too, some math courses especially. So that's another option for while they're here, they can begin their college studies and better prepare themselves for the next steps. One of our big events is, it's called our reality store. It is a requirement for all seniors. And basically what we're trying to do is give them a small taste of living the adult life. And so students will do some research, choose a career, identify if they were to live in the Midwest, what their income would be based on that job. And then we bring in about 50 volunteers from the outside community to represent the various places in a month that people need to spend money. So they will go visit with some realtors and choose a house and make a house payment. They'll choose a vehicle, they'll choose insurance, they'll choose food and clothing. And we also want to prepare them for the unexpected things in life. So they might have a nurse stop them and say, oh, you've had a medical event and you need to pay the bill for that, or your house needs repairs. And so we're trying to help them understand the need to balance and budget their income with planning for their futures. It's a really fun day. The kids almost unanimously come back from that and say, that was so neat. And usually I have no idea how expensive raising children are. And it's a good seed to plant in their head. We have a student-run store that operates in the building where students can purchase clothing and school supplies and snacks. Our students operate the store. Some of our marketing students work with sales plans and other things. Our entrepreneurship students come up with products to sell in the store. We can work a little bit on web design too for it and setting up online stores. And it's become a significant in-house business that our students get some experience in various real life practices for it. We have opportunities to take students on what are called mini business worlds. Basically, they get grouped up with students from other schools in the area, and they have to come up with a business idea and plan in the span of 4 hours. So it really focuses them on using time wisely, learning to work with others. They come up with an idea, they present to other schools, and then to business community leaders, and basically compete against each other in trade show opportunities. So we've had students who can do this throughout the year. There's multiple examples of these presentations that take place. We also have a couple of investment clubs here at Wisco, the Plouts Fund being the largest one. So the students manage a portfolio that is in the neighborhood of about $500,000 US worth of stocks. And the students get to, first of all, make choices on what companies to continue to invest in, maybe what companies we want to sell in and purchase in other ways. And then the students also are given opportunity to decide how the proceeds each year are used. So this past year, I believe it was in the neighborhood of 15,000 US, and various organizations within the school will request funds and the students will evaluate them and decide how to spend those earnings. And then Mrs. Lyer talked a little bit about our newest club here, Future Business Leaders of America. This is a national organization, and it is exactly what it sounds like, preparing students both through networking and through a deeper dive in some of their study areas to prepare for future careers as business leaders. So what you see there are the 5 students who competed at the state level. That's the second level of competition, and 3 or 4 students from the state of Wisconsin can earn the opportunity to compete at the national competition. And this year, 4 of our 5 students qualified in their first year for that national competition. And it's broader even than just business. You can see Frank pictured there. Frank competed in the political science category. And we have, there's graphics, there's public speaking, a lot of areas where we can prepare kids for the future.
All right, thank you, Jay. That was amazing how you showcase all of those different things, both the academic classes as well as the extracurricular activities. We're going to take this time now for some question and answer, and we would invite those of you who are joining the call to participate in this by adding a question to the chat box, which Tammy will be monitoring. And also, if you want to just speak your question out loud too, you're welcome to do that. We have a few questions already ready to go for you, Jay. First one is, what do you think is the difference in terms of a student that comes to Wisco and is trained and graduates from here compared to another area school in terms of preparation for business and business skills?
I think there's 2 things that give our students an advantage. One is our ability to advance students through our relationships with Wisconsin Lutheran College and MATC to get them a head start on some of the future studies they may want to choose. I think a second advantage is our alumni base. There are hundreds, thousands of people in the Milwaukee area who love our high school, love what we do, and are more than willing to give of their time to help support the students here. So if we have an opportunity to say, we have a student who, let's say, has an interest in insurance. I can think of 4 or 5 people who would say, come to my business, let me show you what this is like. And oftentimes, if students choose, they have the ability to spend some of their school day working at that business and connect with them in that way and get that real life experience. So the connections we have in the business community really open up opportunities for our students that I think are pretty unique.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you make a good point about our network abilities. Being we're the oldest Lutheran high school in the United States, so 120 years of alumni and connections, and being a large private school, it means we're sending more people out each year, so our network continues to expand at an exponential rate. A couple of really good questions came into the chat box here. The The first
Yeah.
one being, I'd like to know how our school's economic program differs from the IGCSE program. As far as I know, our school follows the AP education system, but I've heard that the course catalog is very similar. Jay, are you familiar with the IGCSE?
I'm not super familiar with it. I know I was at a conference this summer with a couple of teachers, economics teachers, who teach in America what's called the International Baccalaureate Program, the IB program. And in sitting with him and reviewing, we were really focused on the AP curriculum. The core tenets are the same. Economics is a pretty similar subject. The biggest difference might be AP's focus is a little bit more on application, and the IB tends to be a little bit more theory of economics. But I would say a majority of the content is similar to identical.
Thanks for sharing that. And as we enroll more and more international students from various countries, we're getting more students that have a previous background in either the IB or the IGCSE. And so our student services department is getting more experience too of seeing how curriculums, what students are coming in with, how they can fit into our curriculum here. And from what I understand about the IGCSE, it's a lot about preparing for that big test. And so while the AP does have the opportunity to take that end of year test, like you said, Jay, in the macroeconomics, microeconomics, really our curriculum is designed to promote practical, life-learned, experiential skills that are very applicable, right, for business. I would say that's kind of the strength of our curriculum here. It's really made for practical use in the future. Tammy, anything you would want to share about the different curriculums that you're hearing from students too?
No. It's a Cambridge run. I mean, it's part of the Cambridge program, right? For taking the test for the Cambridge system.
So yeah, it's a great question, and just know that we have experience working with students who are coming from that curriculum experience and coming in very successfully to our school. Another question that came in is about the marketing focused on sports and cultural events. It sounds very interesting. Any guess, Jay, about when that would be available next year, or how far down the road that would be?
The plan would be not next school year, but the school year after that. So the process is next year we would prepare the course. We need to present it and make sure that it meets the standards of our school. And so that would be, that would be the 24-25 school year that we would look to first offer that class.
Sounds like an amazing class. So I'm looking forward to having that as part of our curriculum. Other questions, feel free to write it in the chat box or to turn on your mic and you can ask it directly. We'll wait just a little bit longer for any other questions.
I would like to ask about the Future Business Leaders of America. Mr. Gady did mention that the organization students can compete in many different areas. I know that I don't know the exact number of areas that are available for students to compete in, but I know that some of them are in areas such as like computer coding. Could you just list off a few that come to your mind, Mr. Gady, that are also available? I know like business law, marketing, entrepreneurship. There's just so many categories students that you maybe wouldn't even think of.
Yeah, it's some of the bigger areas. There's a few different computer related ones. There's coding, there's web design. There's several that have to do with graphic design. So some of our art students have, if especially digital media students have opportunities to compete there. There's broadcast journalism. So our journalism majors have an opportunity to present. There's some public speaking ones, both impromptu speeches and prepared public speaking. And then there's some very specialized business ones. One of our students qualified for nationals in risk management, which is really an area of kind of insurance study. And like I mentioned, Frank with his political science, which doesn't necessarily think of when you think of business, but depending on the year, they can vary a little bit, but there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 different areas that they can compete in.
And don't let the name deceive you, right? It's not just for US students, it's for international students are welcome. And even in our school's first year of having this program, our international students were wildly successful, right?
Yes.
Making it to national. So that,
that
was great.
It's a really neat program. There's a very similar program here in America as well with a marketing specific focus. And it's just great opportunities to prepare our students for the university level.
All right, any final questions from anyone before we wrap up? Well, I'd say that those of you on the call today, you know how to get in touch with Tammy and me if you do have further questions. So Tammy, would you close us off here?
Yes, thank you all for joining us. And I just encourage you to continue to learn more by going to the website. And we have all of our previous international live programs recordings available there on other topics that we have posted special speakers for. Our previous one was our dormitory life. And so that is a really excellent way for you to learn more about our dormitory with special speakers from our student speakers from our dormitory about the programs that students can get involved in there and the fun things that they do there. And so please take a look at especially if you're a new student coming in, and I know some of you are out there. This is an excellent way for you to start preparing to enter the school next year. Thinking about what you're going to, get involved in here. Involvement is the #1 way to be successful. From the beginning of your time here, start thinking about how to get involved. And the virtual tour has 9 videos. You can also learn about programs in those videos and look at the facilities. And then also our YouTube playlist. There's great videos about the programs that we have and the various student testimonies. And then you can watch those and you can get back to Mr. Dewey and I to find out more about how to access some of those things when you arrive, or even start preparing now for these opportunities that are available at Wisconsin Lutheran High School.
As we wrap up here, we want to say a big thanks once again to Mr. Jason Gady for taking time this morning before class. You have to go to teach in about 7 minutes here, so we're very thankful for the time that you shared with us today. Great information. I learned something new every time that we have one of these programs, so I learned a lot about the classes and especially the FBLA as well. So thanks for sharing that with us, Jay. And students or others, if you guys have more questions for Mr. Gady, let us know and we can help connect you with Mr. Gady as well. So thanks, Jay. You're excused if you need to go to class.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Good day, everyone.
Bye.
And as like we said on the beginning of the call, this is our last of the live programs for this season. You can look forward to hopefully some more to come next year as well, different topics, as we continue to share more about our great programs here at Wisconsin Lutheran High School. So Tammy, you got one more thing you want to say here?
One more thing. I know there's some new students on here coming in next year, and we are having it's not a live program of this nature, but we're having a Zoom call in June. And I sent an email to some of you, so make sure that you pay attention to your emails, because that Zoom call for you new students coming in is really important. We're going to go through some of those things to get you ready for coming to Wisco in August.
Yep.
Make sure you check your emails.
And same thing, we'll make sure that we record that if you're not able to join. We'll share a lot of important arrival preparation information. So we hope you can join us live. And if you can't, be sure to watch the recording of that. After this, once we have this recording on uploaded, we'll get this link to you as well. If you registered, we'll be able to share this link with you. So if you didn't register for this, but you want the recording, please write to me or Mrs. Leiber and request the recording, and we'll be happy to send it to you. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.